Good evening and welcome to Nonsense Talk Live. I am live after a long time talking to you. Before starting the live, let's have a quick recap of the present situation of COVID virus. If statistics are to be believed, then 721,000 cases worldwide have been reported, out of which 33,000 dead. The number of deaths are increasing at a galloping rate, creating a quite alarming situation. In United States alone, 139,000 cases have been reported and 2,400 cases have been reported of death. Today's live is not about the statistics, and back home in India, the cases have gone up to 942 according to the Health Ministry website, and 29 deaths. So as I said, the situation is quite grim and it's alarming. But today's live is not certainly about the statistics. The biggest development or the biggest story unfolding is the speculation that we all in fact had in our minds, because I remember when I was out for some work in Kolkata's Bow Bazaar, a couple of people after knowing that I am a journalist, they actually raised this point, and during that time I was totally taken aback to see that people are really aware of the things that media is not actually coming up with. I don't know why media took so long to come up with this speculation that somewhere down the line China could be, I repeat, it's a speculative story, so China could be behind this ghastly developed virus, or infused virus, as I would like to put it. In fact, a couple of days ago, when I was putting this news on my WhatsApp status, because I keep on using WhatsApp as a news pad, and those who follow me, those who know me on WhatsApp from here also, they must have seen. So the idea is to keep abreast with news 24/7. So when I actually posted this, some of the people, they were actually mocking me, saying that this is totally ridiculous, because it's almost clear that it's a virus, so on and so forth. Well, I smiled because I knew that someday or the other the truth is going to unfold, and finally truth is gradually unfolding, minute by minute, hour by hour. Well, the question is why China actually did this, because I won't be going into too long, because it's a vast subject. It could be an analytical subject, and had it been a television, had it been a radio, had it been a proper mainstream media, I would have loved to discuss this at length. But since I am on live, I won't be testing your patience, I won't be boring you actually. So let's come to the point straight away. Why China did this? Now there are three reasons predominantly. One, China was actually pissed off by America's continuous request to stop this unscrupulous, I repeat, unscrupulous means of business. But somewhere down the line China was reluctant to do this. So China thought, why not to make a hay in one job. Coming to this later. Number two, those who are familiar with China or communist countries, though none of the communist countries are now in existence except China, countries like China actually give immense free facilities to the elderly people above 60 senior citizens actually. Health is free, medical amenities are free, transportations are free, lots of amenities. So the idea was to kill this generation so that they can save on the money that is being spent rigorously on these people. So the way out was infusing this virus, which actually had two-way advantages. One, China wanted to have a powerful control over the world. My next point is that, according to speculations again, China actually wants to have a total control on the entire world by 2030. Now this is not possible when powers like America, Britain, Germany, Italy are there. Of course, India is coming up under the able leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Well, people often ask me that when I am so vocal about BJP, I am so vocal about Narendra Modi, why I am not actually saying anything about Narendra Modi. Believe me, I have nothing against any political parties. I am a totally apolitical man. Of course, I am vocal when things go wrong. I don't hesitate to criticize Prime Minister. I don't hesitate to criticize Mamata Banerjee. I don't hesitate to criticize Arvind Kejriwal, so on and so forth. I think that should be journalism which is actually going down the line, and we as journalists should be ashamed for palm greasing. Anyway, that's a separate issue. The point is, China wanted a total control over the world. Now, America, of course, is a very powerful country, and it will not leave the position so easily to any country. So the way out was infusing this virus, because if we can go back a little, in fact, if we can go down a little back in the history, we would see that there have been threats of chemical warfare, nuclear warfare, and we all know that if now, in the present situation, a world war takes place, then it would be a very dangerous situation. I think worst is a very small word. And something like this will actually take place. This is, if we can say this is a trailer, because many people are saying this is actually a testing, a module, because China wanted to test if their virus was actually successful. The result and the answer is in front of all of us. Secondly, China was actually planning this for quite some time, because such virus cannot actually take place overnight. And another reason that actually points out to China is because the strange number of cases, if we can have a look at China's reported cases. A country from where the virus actually began, the country which is actually the breeding ground of COVID-19 coronavirus, has a minimum number of recorded cases. How is it possible? I mean, take for example a city like Beijing, which actually has a population of nearly 2.15 crore, and the cases reported was 500 and deaths are 8. And Shanghai, another highly populated city which has a population of 2.4 crores, and the number of cases reported is 480 and death 4. Isn't it a bit fishy? Well, I think it is, because entire country is trying to cope up with this menace, and China is actually going back to its glorious days. Factories are being opened, industry is running, and the funniest thing is If you can have a look at the videos, the new videos, you will see in China people have actually said goodbye to the masks. That means China is going back to the normalcy. Does this mean China actually has the antidote? Perhaps it has. Because whenever we talk of coronavirus or the eradication, we always get an answer from 15th April, things will be normal. Now, how is it possible to predict that 15th April will be a D-Day? In fact, all the diplomatic corps, irrespective of countries, including ours, are actually saying that 15th April is the cutoff day. That means, speculation again, don't blame me if things go wrong. Speculation again. That means there should be and must be some kind of antidote ready with China, which they will actually circulate as they have circulated allegedly in case of COVID-19 coronavirus. Another important factor is when we say that China is actually the harbinger or the key agent to infuse this this virus. Well, I actually beg apology, because when I actually go on live, I'm not very comfortable actually, replying on text. So I will be definitely replying after this. So if you see like others, I am not replying, or I am not keying my answers, please don't misunderstand me. Those who are following me for long, they know this, because I have always apologized. So once I finish my live, I will definitely reply to you and take your answers, take your questions and answers. Thank you very much for watching. Well, another aspect, if we I don't know whether it's aspect or it's a foolproof reason for us to target China, is a book in 1999. It was written by two generals in Chinese army, and the name of the book was Unrestricted Warfare: China's Master Plan to Destroy America. Isn't it enough, the heading, the book title is enough to explain what actually was going on behind China's diplomatic mind or brain? Because China was actually mulling over this concept that willy-nilly it would be ruling the world after 2030, and for this China was getting ready. Finally, one big question that arises standing today is, many may ask that blaming China is fine, but China itself has suffered. If China has suffered, then why would have China infused this virus? The answer is very simple. The answer is, as I said, but I am just repeating it because many people are joining after that, so they may have missed it, and this is one of the very vital information, that in China, many amenities including health, medical facilities, transportations are totally free for senior citizens above 60, being a communist country. And this number of senior citizens or elderly people runs into 100,000s. So China is actually losing its economy, paying for them. So it was actually a total planned game plan to infuse such a virus that would kill some of these elders, some of the people, and the economy will come back to the tracks, because since long China is having a very bad economic situation. Of course, many countries have abandoned China because of their inferior and poor quality of products. Otherwise, China was one of the I can talk about India, because China was one of the big market India was looking for in terms of goods like mobile phones, toys. And being an Indian, I can tell you, I mean, of course, you all know, being an Indian, we all know that Chinese pichkaris during Holi, Chinese crackers, including Chinese manja, the thread we use to fly kite, was actually selling like hot cakes. But after the problem started and people realized that China was actually making fool of them by providing inferior quality products that often became fatal, people deviated from buying Chinese products, and today the Chinese economy has hit all-time low. Well, many aspects remains untouched, because as I said, it's a vast argument, because the analysis is totally incomplete unless somebody from other side actually rebuts, because this type of subjects actually get momentum when somebody rebuts. So argument, fighting and fighting that you see in a TV studio is actually much called for when you discuss such a topic. Lastly, a most important and prudent point that I want to make is, I hope communists in our country, of course in my own state, West Bengal, and southern part of the country where a few communists are still there, I hope they will not jump to the conclusion that no, you guys are actually targeting China for doing nothing. Come on guys, there are almost enough proofs, there are almost enough speculative but witnesses that China has infused this pre-planned way. And this in itself is a very grave situation, because if China has done this, then such situation is actually leading to nothing but a chemical warfare. And a chemical warfare means other countries will definitely participate tomorrow. So this aggression, this virus aggression, if you may call it, will continue, I don't know for how long. And economy of all these countries excepting China will definitely go to shambles, to doldrums, because this continuous lockdown is actually doing immense destruction on country's economy. But China's economy is gallopingly going up. China is planning to set up more factories, more industries, and guess what? To manufacture the accessories, the important things that you actually require during COVID to combat coronavirus. Gloves, sanitizers, ventilators, masks. So these things are being developed, these things are being manufactured in abundance in China. So friends, finally, all I want to say is, whether it's a diplomatic war or it's a chemical war, whatever it is, the fact is, the corona scare, the situation is grave. So follow what Prime Minister Narendra Modi has requested. Try to stay indoors. Try to abide by the lockdown, because it's the only answer to this menace. However, I would like to share one of my observations, because I didn't come on live after this. I just wanted to say that in Kolkata at least, I am observing that people may not be coming out in that big numbers. Roads are empty, everything is true, but when you go to marketplace, it's jostling with activities, and I have already put on my videos. Friends, please try to avoid this. Try to avoid going to public places, and if you are going to public places, follow the restrictions. Remember, By doing this, you are not actually doing any bounty or charity to others. Pardon me for my harsh language, but you are actually doing a charity to your own self and to your family members. Stay safe, be safe, follow the strictures that have been issued by government and WHO. I leave you with this and would definitely try to take up more lives if something interesting comes up. Please feel free to comment whether you like it or dislike it, you want to compliment or abuse me. Please feel free, because that actually gives the kick, as I always say, that actually gives the kick to do such lives. Leave you guys.